Our top story this morning, ahead of the hearing on Article 35A that grants special status to Jammu and Kashmir, tensions are escalating in the valley. The Hurriyat has called for a valley shutdown against any tampering with Article 35A and an arrest spree of separatists like Yasin Malik and Jamaat activists across the valley. National Conference workers also staged a protest demanding that there should be no tampering with Article 35A. National Conference Chief Omar Abdullah and former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti also slammed the arrest of separatists, calling it arbitrary. Meanwhile, security has been beefed up across the valley. Major reinforcement of paramilitary forces have been moved to Kashmir. Ministry of Home Affairs has also deployed forces including the CRPF and Border Security Force. Remember, the contentious Article 35A, which gave special status to Jammu and Kashmir's permanent residents, is likely to come up for hearing in the Supreme Court next week.
Locals clashing with security forces. Unrest boiling across the Kashmir Valley. A concern for the centre and state administration ahead of the crucial hearing on Article 35A in Supreme Court that grants special rights to people of Jammu and Kashmir in jobs, buying assets, schemes and scholarships. The rising turmoil reflected by the centre deploying 100 companies of paramilitary forces and the state government asking residents to stock up on necessities is an indicator of the apprehensions as the Modi government has been mulling a politically volatile move. Sources say that the top brass of the BJP and the RSS may be preparing to make Modi government's intent on Article 35A clear. Sources confirm that the centre may make an oral mention of its stand in SC hearing on petitions challenging Article 35A as unconstitutional. The government is reportedly getting feedback from Jammu and Kashmir before they take a final decision. Centre's likely move also comes months ahead of the Lok Sabha polls. And if the Modi government takes the key decision, in rest of India, it may help consolidate strident Hindutva votes. But in the valley, widespread revolt is likely, as people in Kashmir and political parties feel Article 35A is central to their identity, and its abrogation amounts to altering the region's demography.
The BJP has moved, being in alliance with the PDP to win Kashmiri hearts to the act tough mode. Political parties can make mistakes, move on and even recover. But errors by governments push troubled territories like Kashmir inevitably into deeper trouble.
Meanwhile, tensions also escalated in the valley, with locals in Anantnag hitting the streets against any tampering of Article 35A. Forces had to resort to tear gas shells to disperse stone pelters. National Conference also staged a protest in Srinagar, echoing a similar demand.
We are right now in Lal Chowk area of Srinagar city, and this is a protest being organized by the workers of National Conference. They are protesting against the treatment that Kashmiris have been meted out outside, and also against any move of tampering with the special status of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. These workers have come out on the street at a time when there is already a crackdown by the government on the separatist leaders and Jamaat-e-Islami leaders. Throughout the night, scores of Jamaat-e-Islami workers have been arrested, and additional paramilitary forces have been brought in to Kashmir yesterday as an emergency measure.
The contentious Article 35A came about in 1954 following an accord between then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and NC founder Sheikh Abdullah. Nehru's cabinet pushed for the article, and then President of India Rajendra Prasad added it to the constitution without going to the parliament. Will the Modi government bite the 35A bullet? The next few days will be crucial. With Rahul Srivastav, Bureau Report, India Today.
Former Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti has hit out against the arrest of several separatist leaders, including Yasin Malik, on Friday night. However, Prime Minister Modi emphasized that after the Pulwama attack, the government has become strict against separatists who live in India but support Pakistan. Here's a report.
Tensions are escalating in the Kashmir Valley in the wake of crackdown on separatist leaders. Jammu Kashmir Liberation Front Chief Yasin Malik and several Jamaat-e-Islami leaders were arrested on Friday night. This comes after J&K administration on Wednesday withdrew security of 18 separatist leaders and 155 political leaders in the wake of the deadly Pulwama attack which killed 40 CRPF jawans. The crackdown on separatists didn't go down well with former J&K CM Mehbooba Mufti, who termed the arrests as an arbitrary move and said that this will only precipitate the matters in the state. However, Prime Minister Modi and his party leaders in the state justified the whip on separatists.
देश में रहते हुए अलगाववाद को हवा दे रहे लोगों पर भी कार्रवाई सख्त हुई है और सख्त होती रहेगी।
जो लोग कश्मीर के अंदर पाकिस्तानी आतंकवादियों का समर्थन करते हैं, आतंकवादी बनते हैं, ऐसे तमाम लोगों के ऊपर जबरदस्त क्रैकडाउन शुरू हो गया है। आंतरिक सुरक्षा को भी मजबूत किया जा रहा है, बाहरी सुरक्षा को भी मजबूत किया जाएगा। किसी सूरत में भी देश के गद्दार, देश दुश्मन ताकतों को बख्शा नहीं जाएगा।
The JDU called the former J&K CM Mufti anti-national for opposing the arrests of the Pakistani agents.
पीडीपी क्या है? हुर्रियत का पॉलिटिकल विंग है, ये पूरा देश जानता है, पूरा विश्व जानता है। तो महबूबा मुफ्ती को तो दुख होगा ही ना, जब अलगाववादी नेता, पाकिस्तान समर्थित नेता अरेस्ट किए जाएंगे या उनकी सुरक्षा विड्रॉ होगी तो उनको कष्ट नहीं होगा तो किसको होगा? हमको यार आपको होगा।
This even as clashes also broke out between the locals and security forces in Anantnag's Lal Chowk over the arrests of separatists. Cops had to fire tear gas canisters to contain the stone pelters. The clashes resulted in closure of shops and other business establishments in the area.
Both Mehbooba Mufti and Sajjad Lone have cautioned against this, saying it hasn't worked in the past, it won't work even in future. At the same time, the security forces are telling India Today that there will be a massive crackdown on terror and terror supporters. Anti-terrorist operations are being intensified in the valley.
With Gaurav Sawant, Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, in the shadow of the Pulwama terror attack, Defence Minister and the 3 service chiefs are to meet defence attaches in Delhi next week, looking to go on an offensive against Pakistani support to terrorists involved in the Pulwama attack. Defence Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and the chiefs of Army, Navy and Air Force will meet with Indian defence attaches on February 25th. In the 2-day meeting starting Monday, the government is expected to tell the defence attaches to expose Pakistan on the terror front and its complicity with international Islamic terrorist groups. The 2-day conclave would also see detailed discussion on ties with important countries in the world, including the United States, Russia and other friendly nations. India has already engaged with world powers on its stand on the Pulwama attack. Remember, world powers had condemned the Pulwama attacks, including the United States, Russia and France. Now, as the debate rages over whether India should play against Pakistan in the upcoming Cricket World Cup, COA Chairman Vinod holds a different view. Speaking exclusively to India Today, Rai said that not playing Pakistan in the World Cup would be akin to shooting ourselves in the foot. He further added that India will aim to isolate Pakistan in the cricketing community and will urge the fraternity to make cricket apartheid for Pakistan. Remember, many cricket players and politicians have come out in support of boycotting Pakistan in the upcoming World Cup series. Captain Virat Kohli has put the onus on the BCCI and the government to take a final call on whether India should play Pakistan in the 2019 World Cup.
I sincerely believe that boycotting Pakistan, when we have spent 4 years preparing for world cricket, is boycotting Pakistan is like shooting ourselves in the own foot. Why do we damage Indian cricket just because we don't want to play Pakistan? It's more important for us to try and isolate Pakistan from the cricketing world community. And that's what we are trying to do. What we are trying to do is to ensure that other members of the ICC realize that terror emanates out of Pakistan. And lots of these countries in any case are not playing bilateral matches with Pakistan. So we have to sensitize those people about what is happening from Pakistan. And our entire approach will be, over a long period of time, declare Pakistan to be the apartheid of cricket, just the way South Africa at one point of time, no team was willing to play South Africa. Similarly, we have to isolate Pakistan and ostracize them from the entire cricketing community. And that's what we have applied ourselves to. It will take us some time. We'll have to lobby with some of the countries. We have mandated both our representatives who will be attending the ICC meeting next week, where the CEO will be part of the CEC meeting, Chief Executives Committee, and the acting secretary will be a part of the board. We have mandated them to raise this issue in the ICC members and to sensitize the meeting about the terror that emanates out of Pakistan, and to tell everybody that while we are not linking sports with politics, but the fact remains that this is a country which is exporting terror, and this is a country in which no other country is willing to, very few countries are willing to go and play over there.
Now, Indian cricket captain Virat Kohli has put the onus on the BCCI and the government to take a final call on whether India should play Pakistan in the 2019 World Cup. The ban Pakistan chorus is growing, and the political theatrics has now spilled onto the cricketing field. The big question of whether India should boycott World Cup's marquee clash has left the cricketing fraternity divided.
Battle lines have already been drawn as far as India's World Cup clash against Pakistan in Manchester on June 16th is concerned. Though this time the question being asked is whether India should face off against their arch rivals. The chorus to boycott the marquee clash after the Pulwama attacks has intensified, but what is the Indian team's stand?
From the Indian team and the whole setup, we're really shocked about what happened and really sad about the incident that happened. Our stand is simple. We stick by what the nation wants to do and what the BCCI decides to do, and that is basically our opinion. Whatever the government and the board decide, eventually we will go by that and we will respect that. So that is our stand on this particular issue.
The Indian skipper making it clear that they will respect whatever the board and government decides. The top brass of the BCCI came into a huddle in the capital, but they too are playing the wait-and-watch game.
So, sir, to put it in short, India is going ahead with this fixture of 16th June.
16th June is very far away. We will take a call on that much later and in consultation with government or whoever is.
The mood of majority of the nation is to boycott the high-stake encounter in Manchester, and some cricketers echo the view.
I don't really understand, why we always talk about playing cricket or playing any sport when we don't want to keep any kind of relation with our neighbor country, then why play them?
अब इतना सहन नहीं हो रहा कि हर आप 3 महीने बाद आप देखें वहाँ पे 40 मर रहे हैं, 50 मर रहे हैं, और उसके बाद हम वेट करते रहें कि नहीं अब कुछ होगा. I think ये हाई टाइम है. अब तो मैं मानना कि आर पार की लड़ाई देखी जाएगी.
Every time has so far beaten them in the World Cup. So we are actually conceding 2 points when we could by beating Pakistan in the World Cup actually make sure that they don't qualify for the semi-finals and for the knockout.
Already aren't playing the bilateral series against them, but when you talk about the World Cup, you want to be the world champions. You are one of the best teams on the planet. How good or what will be the worth of that World Cup trophy if you haven't beaten Pakistan along the way? I still feel that 3.5 months down the line, India should be playing and India should be defeating Pakistan on a cricket field and telling them and showing them their place in the cricket world.
Batting legend Sachin Tendulkar too had a similar viewpoint, saying, personally would hate to give them 2 points, it's time to beat them again. Sachin drew a lot of flack for his stand, but what critics conveniently avoided was the second part of his statement, where he insists that the country comes first and he will back whatever the government decides. Former captain Sourav Ganguly meanwhile said it's time for India to take a strong stand. He said, and I quote, "There is no chance of a bilateral series with Pakistan after this incident. India should not only stop playing cricket, hockey or football with Pakistan, but should cut all ties with them." The onus is now on the board. So far, they have only managed a cosmetic move, shooting a mail to the ICC asking them to sever ties with countries backing terrorism. The ones sitting in the power corridors are of the opinion that it's time to isolate Pak, but with a high-profile tournament and enormous money at stake, the decision won't be an easy one. For the outsiders, it's a wait-and-watch game. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will formally launch the Pradhanmantri Kisan Samman Nidhi scheme from Gorakhpur today. Preparations are on in full swing for the two-day national convention of the BJP's mega farmer outreach program. BJP President Amit Shah and Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath will also accompany Prime Minister Modi. Under the scheme, the central government will on the same day make the first installment of 2,000 rupees into the bank account of beneficiary farmers. It is expected that nearly 25 million farmers will get the first installment in their accounts by March 31st. The central government had already written a letter to all state governments asking for details of farmers falling under the ambit of the scheme. And that's a wrap on this bulletin. For all the latest news and updates, you can log on to indiatoday.in. You can also download the India Today app. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you will love to.